Welcome back to the final video of the final project for Print 101 at Fullerton College. This is Professor Ben Hewitt yet again, or perhaps one last time is a better way of saying it. We're going to take a look now at doing the actual imposition of the layout we created for our 16-page, two-signature digitally printed booklet. So last time where we left off, we had just exported our individual pages of content into individual page PDF. Now we're going to take that, since it's now been stabilized, and I like to think about it nailed down, fastened, snapshotted, however you want to think about it. It's made stable in a way that we can now mess with the imposition without having to worry about accidentally bumping or moving anything in the layout. I don't think you should ever mix layout and imposition if you can help it. It's better to keep those separate. So from now on, if you find a change you need to make, you'll have to go back and redo the PDF, which is inconvenient, but less inconvenient than accidentally bumping something and wrecking something else while you're trying to fix something. All right, let's carry on from here. So we're going to create a new document in InDesign. This time we're going to have 4 pages, and they're not going to be facing. The page size wants to be set to tabloid, which is the name for the American paper size of 11 by 17. This should also be set to the same orientation as your dummy. If you're doing a portrait booklet, make this portrait. If you're doing a landscape booklet, as I am, make it landscape. Don't worry about margins. They are not going to do a thing for you this time, and there can be no bleed on this, because this time, the size paper we're setting here is literally the size of the sheet of paper it's going to be printed on. Say okay, and it turns on. Except with my screen sharing program, I have to redo that. Here we go. Poof. There we are. Here's the thing I just made. 4 pages, 3, 4. So we're going to want to get these 4 pages set up to be the 4 pages of our dummy. So if you've not done so already, watch the video about folding a dummy and do it. Fold a dummy, because you're going to need it for this step. Now, if you've already done it, or maybe I'll pause. Okay, now that we've all done that, go ahead and take apart your dummy and open it up again so you can actually see your pages. You'll have your different pages and page numbers all visible facing towards a middle across whichever fold you folded first. Now, another thing that's going to be helpful for us here is if we click on the ruler on the side of your screen and drag in, I like to hold shift because it keeps it on easier numbers, we're going to take it to the center of the page, 8.5 and 5.5. And we're going to do this on each page. This is going to help us know where our pages are going. This is the first step for setting this up. And it doesn't take too much time to keep doing. Make sure you've clicked on the correct page. I am cheating by doing this from such a bird's eye view. You may want to zoom in a little more if you're less comfortable with it. Here, I'll scroll back in and page 4. There we go. Click, drag down. Again, holding shift will keep it snapping to 1/8 of an inch increments. Otherwise, if you don't hold shift, the numbers progress true to pixel where you are on the screen. And that's actually less helpful in this situation than it is snapping to those 1/8 of an inch. So there we go. I now have 4 pages with a guide, 2 guidelines cutting through the middle horizontally and vertically. This is now going to help me with my last bit. But before we get to actually placing our file in, we're going to need to number the pages. I hope you've got that open dummy next to you so you can see your page numbers. Use the text box control, and we're going to make a text box, and we're going to put a number 1 in it. I would recommend centering that text and making it bigger. Choose whatever font you want. It really doesn't matter. Well, I guess I could say it might not matter. It depends on what you want to do with it. I am not going to let mine print. If you wish to have page numbers in your book, you can number them and let the numbers stay. What I'm going to do is go to the attributes thing here. And if you don't have this on your sidebar, it'll be under Window Attributes. And I'm going to click on Non-Printing. Let me show you what that does. Remember how in the last video I said if you press the letter W, it shows you an output preview and hides all those guidelines and things that aren't going to be printed. It only shows you the information that's actually being sent to the PDF / sent to the plate maker. Let's do that now. Oh, good. It went away because I don't want to see it. I'm not actually planning on printing my page numbers. It's now non-printing. So If you don't wish to do the same process over and over again, you can copy and paste this and bring it over to do the other number. The one facing it will be 16. Remember, like I said in the previous video about the actual folding of the dummy, your page numbers should, across the main fold of the page, add up to 17 in our 16-page booklet. So 1 and 16 adds up, and that matches here. Another thing you can do, if you hold down Option, you see how my mouse becomes 2 arrows on top of each other. I can click drag a copy up to the top here and then rotate it around. Whoop. And in there, I can type in the other numbers. Now I have to follow this. I probably should have deleted it before I started on that. Above number 1 is number 4. And above number 16 is number 13. 13 and 4 make 17. You can always make a new text box per section and redo all of the bits and make sure that it has the non-printing setups individually. I just like to set the attributes the way I want once, then copy and paste. That way I don't have the same problem. Another handy shortcut as you work through this, if you select all 4 of these, or Command A to get all of them, and then copy, Command C, go to the next page. If you do Command V and paste, they drop somewhere. However, if you do Command Option Shift V, that is paste in place. Watch this. The numbers land in the exact same spots as on the last one. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to delete these numbers so they don't throw me off, because numbers mess me up when I have other numbers. So now that I have that, let me do this again. Let me copy these 4 blank ones. Copy. Next page, scroll down, click on the page, Command Option Shift, or Control Option Shift if you're a PC user. V for paste in place, and paste in place. So now I have the text boxes for the numbers on all the pages. I just have to go through and type them. It's important now, as you turn your papers over, that you flip them the same direction as the spine fold is going to go along your page. So I'm going to turn mine side to side. I think you would do that as well on a portrait one. And now I'm on the inside of the front page, and that's going to be a number 2, a number 15, above 15 is 14, and above 2 is 3. Now I have one whole signature done. We'll move on to the second one. Keeping the orientation the same, my bottom right number is going to be number 5. Above it is 8, 9, and 12. Again, 12 and 5, 8 and 9. It should all add up to 17. Flipping over, our last 4 pages here are 7, 10, 6, and 11. Okay. Now, if we were in class in person together, I would be practically jumping up and down on my desk, biting my nails, frantically pulling out my hair, and trying very hard to hint that you should save. So, save. Imposition. I think I spelled that right. This is not a spelling class. So Shanty Booklet - Imposition. This is the imposed booklet. Sorry about the lawnmower sounds in the distance. I am recording outside because of nap time at home for the little ones. Okay, so now we have our dummy. It should look very much like the one you folded. Here comes the magic. You ready for this? We're going to do a file place, but we're not going to go all the way through with it right away. If you pause after you say file place, before you start clicking on the documents you want, there's a little checkbox. Let me show you what I mean. Command D. Let me make sure that this is showing up. Okay, looks good so far. And now I'm going to go ahead and choose the Shanty Booklet Reader Spreads number 3, No Bleed, that I did last time. That's going to be the thing that I import. However, before you say OK and open, click on this magic button here, Show Import Options. This is one of the most powerful tools in all of InDesign, in all of InDesign, right here, because this lets you place a multi-page PDF very efficiently into an InDesign document. Watch this. Well, actually not anything yet. That opens up a, we'll call it a secret menu. where you can order your double, your 4x4, your 8x8. Sorry, that's my favorite secret menu. Apologies. I guess I shouldn't record these when I'm hungry. Okay, so place PDF. You can choose which page you want to place. That's one thing you could do, or you can click the All button. You have an option, but we're not going to mess with it, to change what amount of image you're going to import as well. You can have it crop it on automatically to the art box, to the crop box, to the trim box, the bleed box, the outhouse, farmhouse, handhouse. Oh, wrong movie. So media is fine for this. You can also choose, if you're using transparencies, to click on a transparent background. I don't expect that you're doing that, but if you did, that's where to choose it. So let's go again because I talk too much. Doesn't matter which page is previewed if you've clicked on all pages, and we're doing all things. Note you also have options to change to work with layers, but we're not importing a Photoshop document. So pages, all. Options, crop to media, good to go, okay. It's going to take a second, and then where'd it go? Book. Let me try that again. Open, all pages. Okay, there we go. So now I have my pages and I can place them where they go. The best thing you can do is try to click in the corner where you want them to come from. If you click and drag, you're going to have to manually size them, and I wouldn't recommend that. If you do a single click, they will land as the page they are, and they're going to come in order. So that was page 1. Now I have page 2 to put down. Page 2 goes right here. Now I'm going to have to rotate some of these. Page 3, let's go ahead and click that on top of 3, right over here. Page 4 is going to be on the next. Oh, back up at the top here. Page 4. Page 5, I need to go find, is down here. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8 clicks here, and each time I click the mouse, it drops the next page. Do you see how cool this is? Page 9 goes right here. Don't worry, those will be correct when we rotate them. Page 10, where's 10? I have to scroll sometimes. There we go. 10 is here. Spanish Ladies, great song. Page 11. 12, click. 13, 14, 15, and 16. The next thing to do is to go around and rotate each one of these 180 degrees. You could go through Object Transform Rotate 180, or you could click and you could get your mouse outside the outside corner of these. So you see that little corner arrow, and then rotate. If you hold Shift, it'll snap to 45 and 90 degrees, making it very easy to do that. I'm kind of a WYSIWYG drag and drop guy, but that's because I'm a Mac user. For those of you who prefer your keyboard commands and all, you might like the other method better. And so for me, I know that all the ones on the top of my layouts are going to be rotated 180 degrees. I'll put this spread back together as I rotate the Rio Grande here. I know the real river's called Rio Grande, but when you're an 18th century British sailor, you pronounce that Rio. I'm sorry, 19th century. Apologies. It's a little bit later. That's also the only pages in the booklet that are adjacent, both in the booklet and in the dummy, because they're the center spread. So it's still going to look a little bit off as you look at it all, but this right here is a complete booklet, and you can see what order the pages are going to be in. From here, we just need to export it one more time as a PDF, as if we're going to send this to a printer to get it run on a press. So we're going to do a file export one last time, and we're going to do the same setting. I'm actually going to call this no bleed. And we're going to drop it out here. Again, high quality print, no changes is good. And that's it. Let's take a quick look to make sure it did the right thing. Just a moment, sorry. Need to get back to where it is. Shanty book, output. Let's go ahead and share this. Whoops. Share Acrobat. There we are. Sorry for my less than professional video editing, but you know, I'm normally just a teacher, not a video editor. So page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. You can see my booklet is all laid out in what doesn't look like it makes much sense, but is in fact going to line up where I want it in that finished booklet. All right, I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. Thanks for bearing with it. Best of luck, and I hope your books turn out well for you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for taking my class. It's been good having you. To steal a line from the Jungle Cruise, I hope you've liked being had. Bye.